will you please give your most warm welcome to the fabulous Red Hot Chili Peppers, the band that gets your pulses pounding, your senses reeling, and sets your mouth on fire. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Thrash Bash.
The Thrash Bash. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Thanks a lot, George Clinton.
But it looks like an ashtray.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to an episode of Film Sack, the brand newest one. That's right. It's the April 5th, the Easter Day one. We're doing an Easter episode. Happy Easter to everybody
That's
out
right.
there.
You will not find any Easter eggs in this episode.
Nope, none at all.
We're gonna hop right into it. Mm-hmm.
We mine the very depths of your Easter basket and film entertainment for all mankind. This is episode 741. My name is Scott Johnson, and I'm joined today by Brian. He always flipped into an El Camino to get to the tournament faster. Dunaway.
Yeah, take that, El Camino. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we're rolling with Brolin and thrashing this West Side Karate Kid Romeo and Juliet story on wheels that set the skate ramp of LA punks versus Mom Left You a Note and $30 worth of Valley Dude street board culture on fire. Nah, I'm just joshing. It wasn't a fight, sis. It was just a jerk joke. We were just playing around with some boxing gloves filled with what I assume were shards of glass and rocks tied to the ends of Tommy's disjointed nunchucks, and then proceeded to beat the ever-loving shit out of each other until the cop showed up. You know, jokes. You say you want more jerk jokes? Hey, then just watch us tossing jacks into the skate bowl of this 1986 downhill death ride of a love story that is now sucking teeth and crying at the bottom of your favorite streaming service with ads. Ouch. Anywho. Okay, Velvet. Oh, so you already took Chrissy to the bus station, did you? Darn. Well, I obviously must have a concussion as well as a broken arm because I can clearly see Chrissy right behind you in the freaking window of the Dagger House. Come on, Velvet. Lie better already. Randy? You're going to be the prettiest girl at the party, which is totally not a thing I ever told my little sisters because I'm not a weirdo. Skate or die!
There you go, bringing it
I'm
in.
glad you cleared up for me that those were boxing gloves. I honestly did not pick up the fact that they were jousting with boxing gloves. I was trying to figure out what those things were. And
Definitely
you'll hear
some
my song,
homemade-
what I thought they were.
Oh, good. I think there were boxing gloves that were disassembled
No, I
as
think
well as some
I
nunchucks.
think they totally are. Yeah, now that you
Yeah.
say it, it's like, oh, that's exactly what they are. All right, good.
That fight was such a wimpy fight.
Joust!
Anyway, also with us, Randy. His worst enemy is a handful of Jacks Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian. I'm going to make this short. You are a bunch of punks who somehow have the means to live in one of the most desirable and beautiful places in the world, and rather than do something with yourselves, you're wasting your youth having fun and making memories with great friends that will last for the rest of your life and probably carry you through the hard times. And you're somehow winning $1,000 that you're going to share with those same friends like communists. Yuck. I don't know what went so horribly wrong in your lives, but you're going to complete the greatest adventure you ever had if you just follow my 3 righteous suggestions.
Right.
Number 1, did you hear about the $1,000?
Right.
40 years from now, that's going to be the equivalent of a teenager winning like $25,000. How about you focus a little more on that life-changing money? Number 2, when an old man pulls up in a van filled with decks and trucks and wheels and probably money, walk over and talk to that old man. Why isn't every teenage boy in Southern California swarming Old Man Easy Street?
Yeah.
Number 3.
Or the geese. Go ahead.
Number 3. There's no other way to put this. When you're more or less blonde and you have a more or less strongest jaw in town and, I don't know, predator eyes, they're just going to give you a girl to have sex with. Wear a condom.
Yeah. Wear a Brolin branded condom.
Brolin.
They're purple and they're ribbed.
Right,
Yep,
right.
for his pleasure.
If you do walk up to a guy in a van, make sure you're shirtless.
Always,
Yeah.
Yeah.
never not. Thank you very much. Also with us, and finally, we have Brian. He made me very uncomfortable that time. He told me to sink my teeth into his resin ball zibbit.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to go.
Not too many places you can go.
Not too many places I can go. Hey, the song for me this week really poses the question. We'll talk about it after the song, but I found a little bit of a parallel between the ending of this week's movie and a popular song from the mid 1960s, I believe.
Oh my Lord!
interesting.
All right,
Okay.
here it is.
I was hanging in LA last Friday night when a girl came up to me and asked to show me the sights. I could tell she was a free spirit on those LA streets by the fact she walked through that filth in her bare feet. But her brother told me that he didn't like my type, so he jousted with some truck nuts in an old half pipe. I said, let's take our fight to where attacks occur. I'll race you down the mountain.
At LA Massacre.
Massacre, it's just a big hill. Massacre, the dangerous hill. Massacre, for moderate skill. Might swallow a bug at the LA Massacre. The morning of the race, boy, did my pants feel tight. It might have been the banana split I ate the previous night. The starting line was crossed, the competition was steep, and the announcer sounded like he needed to get some sleep. All the skateboards flying off the road and into the trees. Medics stuck with SpongeBob Band-Aids for the scrapes on our knees. One by one the other skaters fell or rashes occurred, leaving just the two of us
In the LA Massacre. Well, the last thing I remember, Doc, near the end of the race, he tried to hit me with his leather gauntlet right in my face. My mind went back to the carton he handed me the previous night, and it was then I figured out that everyone was right.
Don't drink the OJ before the LA Massacre.
LA Massacre.
Massacre, it's just a big hill. Massacre, the dangerous hill.
Massacre.
Massacre, for moderate skill.
Oh my God! Why do all the Jan and Dean songs have a fade out end?
They all do.
Oh, yeah.
They all do. You're right. No, that
So
was
what's that way to go?
So true.
That was
Little old
great.
lady from Pasadena.
I feel like I don't think I've ever heard that song. That's the first
Dead
time.
Man's Curve?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think so. I think I've never heard it, but maybe
I heard about it, recognized it until you got to the chorus.
Maybe you made it so much yours.
It's a real place. When you drive
It is,
down
yeah.
West Sunset Boulevard,
Really?
as you're going, there's a terrible curve that you can just take too fast and get killed.
Yeah.
So
But it's not where Jan and Dean wrecked his car and died. Oh, I guess he didn't die. He just got severe head injuries. But
that
in
happened.
a different car accident right after the release of that song. I
So-
guess brain damage and partial paralysis.
Oh my
So thanks
gosh.
to the Brady Bunch, I grew up and always assumed that one of Jan and Dean was a woman, and never saw him until like I was an adult and
Really?
found out. Oh, Jan is a guy.
Yeah. Well, they're singing kind of high, so I could totally see that, right?
Oh,
would,
I didn't know that
yeah,
till right now. So thank you.
If it was Jan and Dean, then
Right.
then
Yeah, it would be a little less confusing. Jan was in there. The movie we're talking about is Thrashin'. It came out in 1986. It will be very obvious to you if you're watching that movie that it came out in 1986. It has got 1986 written all over it. It is soaked in 1986, so much so that the person who volunteered to do this week's Fake Fletcher never delivered the audio to me. So I never heard back from
Oh,
them.
no.
Yeah. So here's what they would have said on this episode of Film Sack: two skateboarding gangs battle each other for supremacy, and member of one gang falls in love with the sister of his rival. Sounds radical to us. That would have been the read.
Okay.
Radley.
Right, very good.
Which I mean, we're talking like when you put it that way, it sounds like a West Side Story
A little
Yeah,
bit.
it is.
remake.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's not. It's really only just it's accidentally
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet some elements.
I'm glad
but
you
it's
said
not
that because
at
I
all.
didn't fit. Like I could tell they
Karate
were
Kid.
maybe trying to evoke a little of the Romeo Juliet rival
with
thing,
the
but
sister of the sister of my enemy is my girlfriend kind of
yeah,
thing.
but it ended up being very face value. There's no like.
I don't remember skate punks being dressed like West Side Story kids, though. Randy, is that
Well, and my kid actually was looking over my shoulder at this movie. I was watching
Right.
it on planes, and he asked me at some point. He was just like, "Why are the bad guys alt kid coded?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I think in the 80s we were just kind of doing this with villains. Like to make a villain, you put him in black, Darth Vader, and to make a good guy, you put him in white. And Josh Brolin's wearing a white T-shirt for a lot of this movie.
Yeah, a whole lot of this movie. A lot of muscle
well,
shirts.
when
too.
he was
A
wearing
lot of
shirts?
muscle
that is.
shirts, yeah, except for the red jumpsuit at the end. But I do like how all the daggers had matching ripped-off vest jean jackets, dark venom
Yeah.
denim jean denim.
Not that unusual in the 80s. I remember lots of like metalheads walking around high school.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess that I wasn't in high school. then,
I do too. Go ahead.
but they
that's what
would
confused me.
kind of make their jackets look very similar to each other, like a gang.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what confused me in this movie, though, because I was like, I don't remember this crossover of borders and metalheads like this way. I don't like bikers. They're almost like a biker
Right.
gang. And I was like, I don't remember this part.
to me they're just like film sack tradition, which is theme gangs. They're just theme gangs.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And the theme of this
just
one
happens
is
to be skateboarding.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah.
gang first, skateboarding second.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like one black guy and like a couple of Asian guys. And then everybody else is this white tough guy wannabe thing that I mean, look, I'm not here to talk about anybody's culture growing up or whether, I don't know if I'm right or I'm wrong with what I'm about to say, but none of those people felt like this reflected actual 80s skater culture to me.
Skatey. I like 80s.
Skatey.
I like
Yeah.
80s skatey culture.
80s skatey. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that scene looked like. I guess I kind of do because I've seen what's it called? Boys of the shit. What's that one? There's a documentary that's famous. It's about all the skater kids. Shit. That might even be 70s. But point is, I don't think like you can put your Tony Hawk in a tiny role in this and have him standing off in the nowhere. But it doesn't make it a like authentic skater boy
No.
thing. And did they gang up? And was it like, all these white guys on one side and all these other white guys on? I mean, I didn't buy that. The whole movie tried to convince me of this, and I just didn't. I just didn't.
This
buy it.
was like I think it was pitched originally. It was like, hey, you guys remember Breakin'? Yeah, we should do one about skate culture. Call it Thrashin', but we'll kind of throw some Karate Kid in there, maybe, and maybe a little bit of West Side Story, maybe some Romeo and Juliet, wrong side of the tracks, maybe different side of the tracks, kind of thing. We'll just play it by ear.
I just want to take a second to try to understand what Scott was referring to.
Oh.
Did you watch Dogtown and Z-Boys?
That was it. That was it.
Okay, all right.
And that's like I said, that's more late 70s, but it's not that far off.
I mean, yeah, some of their old footage is Dogtown and Z-Boys is made in like right before 9/11. And
well, that's true, but it's all set from that era, right? Or I mean, it's
right.
all,
Yeah. I just this movie really, really speaks to me, so I'm having a hard time.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time settling into film sack about it. This is like
Yes.
the thing for my little generation of teenage boys, 13, 14 years old. Like everyone knew of someone who had a copy of Thrashin' on VHS.
Really?
And
Oh,
it
wow.
was so hard to
This is
find.
really interesting to hear because I didn't expect that. I honestly thought
is-
it feels like a fantasy to me the way it was portrayed, and so
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's anytime that you're into a culture and then they give it a movie treatment, even if it is not even close, there's still moments of like, yeah, we do this, and I'm down with this. And so you just point at the screen and go, yeah, cool, man.
because I remember seeing it when I think I saw it in '86 when it came out with some friends.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And I remember thinking that like
I only remember some video.
Yeah.
it had some of the vibes of teen, that '80s teen thing, just like hey, we're gonna overcome everything, and the Karate Kid thing.
Yeah,
it had that, I guess then. But now I look back, I see it now, and I just go, "This is freaking terrible, man." Like just this not good,
Yeah,
and I don't want to. I don't want to
watch-
piss anybody's Cheerios. I'm just saying.
No, and the actors in you can easily look for Josh Brolin takes and different actors in this movie on YouTube and see what they think about Thrashing. But I'm it's fine if this is your favorite thing. I understand it. It's
for
probably
me,
mostly
this is
nostalgia.
This is a different version of what I was talking about last week with Live and Let Die, where I can divide the movie into two big groups of elements. And so one big group of elements, I'm like, this is the worst movie we've seen in a long time. But then the other stuff, because this movie was made for me. This was made for a 13-year-old who, was learning all the weird names of all these skateboard tricks. And by the way, I don't know if anybody else had this, but when I was a kid in the 80s, an ollie, I thought, and everybody I knew thought that an ollie was named after Colonel Oliver North.
Oh my gosh, really?
Because I was very far away from this scene that's depicted in this movie. And I learned a lot later that it was named after a skater named Ollie.
Yeah. I honestly, I guess I always just assumed it was some secret skater speak,
Yeah, I never.
There's a
assumed
ton
was
of it.
named after a person. I thought it was like short for, you flip your skateboard ollie the way over or something like that.
Yeah, that is not crazy thinking. That is exactly where my head was at.
Yeah,
and I was okay with just letting it slide. It's like, you guys know your business. I don't know. I don't skate. I don't want to pretend to be.
Did you skate?
Right.
Okay, so did anybody skate at all? I skated some, but I was certainly not, I wasn't out here,
I had a
all these-
skateboard, and the most I would do is walk it to the top of this slowly sloping hill
Right.
where my dad's girlfriend lived, and then I would I'd stand up on it, and I would slowly go down the street, and then I'd pick it up, and then I'd walk it back up to the top.
Okay, I did a little more than that,
Yeah,
but I
I'm
certainly
sure you
wasn't.
did.
I was hanging out with friends who were just killing it. I was more like Bose in this movie. It's like, hey, he's here and he's trying to do some of the tricks too, but he's not really coordinated to do the things that we're doing. But I would try some of the tricks and
Bose,
stuff.
man. Jeez.
Yeah, that guy. I think he maybe had some special needs, and we were treating him poorly.
What Bose had was a car, and that was the only reason why
two-thirds
he
of
was
one
there.
anyway.
Yeah.
After Radley. Bo Radley fixed it up for
Turned
him.
it into a cabriolet.
Cabriolet. Oh my gosh, dude! I was so irritated with that.
That was great.
I wasn't. I thought I'm glad we rewatched this because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I probably watched it 15 times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who's never seen this before?
I think so.
Yeah,
I bet Dunaway owns it on a Blu-ray special edition director's cut.
Well, I mean,
You know what? No, he doesn't, because they really had
They
to
never-
fight to get this thing to come out, even on DVD, just
Oh,
regular
really?
DVD. It took them like 15
VHS, thank you.
years to get this thing on. Yeah, it was a
real shame.
VHS only.
this
for a
only
long
belongs on
time.
VHS.
Yo,
Sorry.
for sure. I see it as more, we were talking about like how, what the audience is for this. This feels to me like those Warren Miller ski movies, except they
Okay,
throw a
right.
little bit of plot in between the long segments of, here's some really cool tricks on skiing that you might want to try. Or here's some really cool
That's-
places you might want to go skiing.
You nailed it. It is it is all about those long scenes of skating in different
Like
locations.
going down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah,
and,
that's what appealed to me anyway. And the story was like, it's like, oh, now we got to eat through the story too. Fine, let's watch this.
I was
crap.
actually pleasantly surprised, and I'm
Yeah.
willing to be the only one. But as a kid, watching Thrashin' on DVD, on VHS, we'd go over to the mom and pop pre-Blockbuster store and beg them to bring in a copy of Thrashin'. And we'd wait for months, and then they
There's
finally
this
would.
guy named
And whenever someone you knew had it checked out, you'd go over to their house, and we would watch Thrashin with a hand on the remote to fast forward, because you would fast forward through all the non-skating stuff.
All the plot.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we do
And
too.
so
It's like, nope.
I'm really pleasantly surprised. Like, I don't think I ever actually watched the sex scene. And I was like, you know what?
I still didn't watch the sex scene.
You mean the most uncomfortable sex scene since The Watchmen?
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly, dude.
I hit the 15-second fast forward a few times to get through
Did
that.
you really?
I will admit that I was like, I don't want to watch this. Click.
Oh
click,
my God, it
click.
was so awkward.
It was also more explicit than I'm used to from movies of my teen years.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, where's she going?
Such a prude.
Hello. Like,
I'm such a
Exactly,
prude.
yeah, there was some business going on there. I don't know.
Spray on sweat
Josh
and
Brolin
stuff,
Josh Brolin and Pamela Gidley were both of age,
Of the appropriate age, right?
He was a couple years older than him, so he was 18 and she was 20, roughly.
Yeah.
But I had never really seen any of that. Like, I didn't know the story, like
Right,
the scenes between her and her brother, Robert Rosler. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually a movie. It's actually got a plot. I'm okay with that.
I actually thought that, as simple as I thought a lot of the plot was, I thought her and their brother stuff, for whatever reason, was just well handled. Sometimes he would say dumb shit like styling, which, come on now,
Yeah.
studly and words like that. But he convinced me that he was kind of this like weird combination of an asshole, a brother who's protecting her. Like he
Right.
did all
So
right.
it was the Karate Kid thing, right? Because we asked now, it's like, oh, who was the real bad guy in Karate Kid? And it's kind of this here too, because it's like, oh yeah, who's this valley boy, from the suburbs think he is, coming in, crashing in our good punk scene and trying to date my daughter. He's just going to do her and get her pregnant, and then I'm going to have to deal with that, and mom's going to be on my ass.
Right.
And this movie is highly aware of the Karate Kid. It does everything it can to differentiate from the Karate Kid, and still, it's like it ends. It ends with the.
Is the geese Mr. Miyagi then?
Yeah. I don't. That's of course. There was no Mr. Miyagi. Maybe that was the thing. He just went out and independently tried to figure it out. It's like, okay, how am I going to skate downhill with a broken arm?
Well, that's what I was going to say is like they probably took away from the character of Sam Flood, the guy running the skate distributor, because he would have ended up being a Mr. Miyagi type if you give him any more screen time.
You mentioned it in the pre-show, I think, or not the pre-show, but early in the show, that when Brolin is offered to chew on the wheel and he never does, I will tell you, it made me feel uncomfortable because I really wanted him to chew on it. I really wanted to see.
Yeah.
I needed closure to see. Was it really as rubbery as he said?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly bounced in a way that was, man, to know how to throw a skateboard wheel onto the ground so that it bounces back up to where you can catch it. Because I know if I did it, it'd go bing.
Sam Flood. Yeah, Chuck McCain was doing some. He's pretty good at that. He was pretty good.
He knew where to huck it.
Yeah, it was like the flubber of ball technology or wheel technology.
This just brought back a lot of great memories for me. I started out with a hand-me-down skateboard from my older brother. It was like a 1975 hard plastic
banana board.
Yeah, it was like that. It was blue, and the trucks and wheels were terrible. Yeah. And I just learned, the basics, super basics, and I could not wait to get into a modern skateboard as a, like a 12, 13-year-old. And dude, I had friends that were like stealing parts from, athletic stores and like, selling them to their little friends and stuff like that. Like it was a whole culture. I had a friend who built a half pipe in his backyard.
Did anybody burn it down?
No.
As retribution?
That was really upsetting. Was anybody else really upset?
Yeah, I was mad at that. Partly because it takes a ton of effort, partly because it's just unlawful and shitty, but partly because that was filmed really well, and the rest of the movie's kind of standard. But that like stark nighttime flames, it was gnarly.
Watching boards collapse underneath, burn through and collapse underneath them. I was like, wow. Okay.
I was mad because of modern lumber prices are just so outrageous that I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I said I had a friend who built a half pipe in the backyard. I had a friend whose friend built a half pipe in the backyard. And
Right.
so this was an acquaintance, and I had to get invited over to enjoy it. And that thing was so amazing to me because they had built it piece by piece. They'd gone to the lumber store and gotten this piece and this piece, and they had they built it from plans that were in one of the skating magazines, and it was real good. Like, but it costs us so much money.
Oh,
You know, like they could have charged admission in 1987.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how they built a crowd very quickly too. That was kind of a neat scene after they had finished building it up, and it's like they were skating, and then people just showed up. That's so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Just drawn in by the sound of skates or skateboards like going down and flipping around and stuff.
I guess I just didn't know anyone doing that for real. And so it feels unreal to me, or it feels contrived, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not giving it enough credit for what it was.
Yeah, this was definitely a culture in my area as well.
Yeah, but did they behave the same? Did they get on top of people's Volkswagens and dent them and things like that?
They not when people were watching. They wouldn't like. We weren't the kind of punks that would be like, "Oh, in your face! I'm about to jump on your car and jump over and do." Yeah, we weren't that bad. But if nobody was around.
Nobody's around. You jump on a golf or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Just nobody around.
I felt bad for
Fiesta.
Boz because I was like, he's the Cameron in this situation. He's got to tell his dad why the car's all shitty.
Right.
I loved it. Yeah, that was so fun.
I'm thinking about it. There were two magazines that were a really big deal in the 80s. And one of them, I'm sure, Scott, you looked at the newsstand and saw Skateboarding magazine.
Hell yeah.
And the word skate was all in caps, and the word boarding was all decapped.
Yeah.
Skateboarding magazine was such a big damn deal.
It was a pretty big deal, and it was very zany and dirty and grungy, and it was kind of, that stuff was cool. But there was no, excuse me, there was no, they hadn't started spelling it with an 8 until later, I don't think. There's like an Avril Lavigne thing or something,
Yeah, and then of course there was Thrasher magazine, which was just a magazine.
Yeah.
Like,
and
skateboarding was about the scene and it was about the professionals and so forth, whereas Thrasher was just it was for like up and coming journalists to write about skateboarding, and it was actually a really nice magazine to read.
Thrashin' was.
And it's still, and it's kind of had a little resurgence of people like putting it on their shirts. It's like, I got a Nirvana shirt and a Thrasher shirt. What else you want?
Yeah. I haven't seen him around much, but I bet if I went to a Hot Topic, I could find a Thrashin' shirt.
Hot Topic or probably the magazine, like, the big wide magazine wall at your Barnes and Noble probably has Thrasher.
Yeah.
And man, I find so many great. So, man, during the DVD era, there were skaters were really promoting themselves, and teams were promoting themselves. There were so many DVDs out there that you could pick up of just this music and people skating. So to me, it kind of found the best parts of the movie Thrashin' and took away all the bullshit story stuff and just gave me DVDs that I could just watch people skate and do wild stuff. Of course, you do that on YouTube now, but
yeah, that's the funny thing about it is that was your source for that stuff. What was that stuff like the Bam Margera videos he did before Jackass? And it was like it was mostly skater stuff. I forgot what those are called.
Yeah.
That had a name, and people loved it.
Oh boy, I had a bunch of it.
And I'm a massive Jackass fan, but I guess the real
CKY, kill yourself.
CKY, kill yourself.
Not kill yourself. Camp kill yourself.
Camp kill yourself. That's it.
Yeah, CKY.
Yeah, that stuff was huge, and I feel like if you didn't have that, today you just don't. You just go to YouTube. It's like
yeah. And that's what's so much fun is I see Zoe. She's my youngest, and she watches that stuff all the time. She likes to go out there and I'm more of a rider than a trick guy. But I did tricks in the same way though.
Are you a freestyle dance boy?
I'm not a freestyle dance boy, but what I did enjoy here was I don't remember.
There's no way that shit's real, by the way.
I don't remember us giving bullshit to breakers like early 80s gave to disco, right? It's like, that was the previous generation's
big rivalry there.
Deal. Yeah, and it's like, I don't remember us going, oh, you bunch of breakers. Oh, you bunch of
Yeah.
I can't stand you guys. I remember that.
It felt like a movie calling out another movie more than
Right,
anything.
it did. It did.
Yeah. Which,
But I'm not in the LA scene, so I don't know. Maybe that
yeah,
was a
I
thing.
was curious about that because I don't remember in '86. I'm assuming LA would be considered the place where the trends.
I mean, you got to fight for the
change.
board. You got to fight for the areas, right? I mean, also this movie made me realize how much I
Wait a
appreciate
minute. The areas.
What?
You like the breakdancing areas? What do you mean by the
Yeah,
areas?
it's like, hey, like in the you as you saw in this movie, people would gather in different locations. And it's like, oh, this is my part of the board here, right? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out here and we're gonna do our thing. And it's like, well, we're trying to skate through here, and you're breaking up our skating because you're breaking.
Because you're breaking.
And-
yeah.
That's why I felt like the best part of the movie is when they invade Hollywood Boulevard, because they're asserting that they can go anywhere. These awesome skateboards give them the ability to go anywhere and have fun. And that's just like such a wonderful message to 11-year-old Randy. Like,
Yeah.
you can just, with your skateboard, you can go anywhere and have fun. Look at these guys having fun.
Yep, and there's and heroes to some, and just annoyances to others.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Right,
can't believe
yeah.
you jumped in my car. hey, you punks!
I love this voice you've given them. It's perfect.
But yeah, I was going to say something about. Oh, I know what this movie gave me. This movie gave me an appreciation of personal space.
These guys,
geez,
I'll tell you, the
yeah.
most unrealistic thing in the movie from beginning to end is how much these guys touch each other.
Yes.
I put it down. I was like, did we touch ourselves that much? Did we always touch each other that much?
Especially the member of the ramp locals, the short brunette dude who like walk up and just put his arms around both guys. Hey guys, what's going on today? Hey,
yeah. He was very
He
friendly.
was very touchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very friendly,
That
very
felt-
touchy.
It felt very much like Styles from Teen Wolf, and I'm like, did they?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's always hanging on you. It's like, stop it.
Maybe, but
was
that
a-
was again. I think that there was a notion anyway, whether it was true or not. I think in the '80s, we thought we kind of were more dudes were more cool with physical touch than maybe we were.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like movies
Yeah,
sure
that's
showed
not
it. It was in the movies all
Right.
the time, but I don't know if it was.
What
real.
about dudes touching me? It was just like personal space in general. It's just like, hey, back up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
I'll tell you what, the person I think we're talking about is Josh Richmond.
Yeah,
And
Radley.
Josh Richmond was a character, a trope, a absolute mainstay of teenage movies throughout all the 80s, and that's the guy who does all the talking, and he's funny.
Yeah, Styles,
Yeah.
mouth.
And he was in another movie you probably haven't seen called River's Edge with
Oh, I have seen.
Keanu Reeves,
Love that
Crispin
movie.
Glover.
And Crispin Glover, it's like they find a Stand By Me. They find a body at the river's edge. Right?
Yeah, that one's a dark one. And if I remember right, what's his name's in it? Bad guy in Speed.
Rutger Hauer.
No.
not Rutger Hauer.
No.
Help me.
Yeah.
You drunk
Pop quiz, hot shot. That guy.
drunk assistant coach in.
and all
Yep.
the David
Yeah.
Lynch stuff.
Why can't I think of this? Easy Rider. I can't think
Dennis
of
Hopper.
Dennis
Dennis
Hopper.
freaking.
Oh, you're talking about Hopper?
Yeah, Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. My gosh. Anyway, Dennis Hopper is in that too. That movie's
The
great.
first,
Yeah,
the
he's
first
been in
third,
something else you like, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the first third of this movie, Josh Richmond carries the movie. He is so funny, and he is constantly telling people what is going on, and just like everything is weird and hilarious, and you almost wonder if they just let him go, if they just wind him up and throw him out in front of the camera and say, just ad lib until we get some useful, funny things.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this guy didn't have more of a career as an actor.
That's what I swore I knew him from other places. And I was like, I looked it up and I'm like, I only really know him from like a handful of places. But I felt like he was in a lot of things. But
I may only know him from this. I can't.
I think
of
I'm
anything
confusing him with another actor. And I couldn't quite figure out what that actor
I mean, he was
other actor
in
was.
Heather's.
Yeah, but just like as a bit role, right? I mean,
like
Fright
not even
Night
a
Part
named
2.
character. Second heavy metaler in parking lot.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
wait, he was in V, but only one episode. Like I said, it feels like he was in something significant because I seem like I've seen his face and heard his voice a million times, but
Natural
I guess
Born
maybe
Killers.
not.
Yeah, no. I mean, but he does feel like, all right, he's going to be the guy who always plays the funny best friend of the main character.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's the Jonah Hill character from Superbad, only he looks and sounds like McLovin, but he's the guy. He's the guy who's talking about everything all the time.
He's a common. He's like a weird amalgamation of all those people, like everyone you just mentioned. He's got a little Michael Cera in him for you know, whatever. But why he didn't go past that, I don't know. But I thought he was good in this. There are a few things where I just like, you know what? He was good. Freaking, he was good. Who else? Is that all there was?
So I really thought
Sherilyn Fenn was good, but you know,
sure.
I really thought Pamela Gidley and Sherilyn Fenn were good as the, as two women talking about, what's going on or all around them. It felt to me a little weird that Sherilyn Fenn's character comes out and lies to Josh Brolin about where Chrissy has gone.
Don't look behind me.
Because that scene, I'm like, is she hitting on him? Is Velvet hitting on Corey? And or what? Why is she lying? I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird.
She's loyal to her boyfriend, right? That's the point, which is Tommy.
It is, but you see, there's parts of her, and this is where they don't maybe explore that relationship enough, because there are times where you can see there's like a sisterhood going on, and she's there to, she understands that this is not a great place. The Daggers are kind of dicks. Your brother's a dick. I'm going to kind of watch out for you a little bit. Like some of that is implied with her, and then later she just is reduced to, I don't know, grumpy loser. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
they didn't follow that shit through. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That could have been better.
So I like I told you, we would skip all of that exposition and just go right to the skating. And I want you to know, as a kid, I was enthralled by the joust scene. As an adult, I am appalled.
Right? Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, that was cool. Back in my memory, I remember thinking that. I don't think I think, well, it's cool, but I thought I was like, okay, neat.
Yeah.
But now watching it again, I was like, that doesn't even look like it hurts. What's in those boxing gloves? It's got to be like rocks and
everybody likes
knives and
everybody likes a little gladiatorial concept, right? Like, hey, these guys are going to fight it out this weird way, and they made these weird improvised weapons. And if I was 12, I would think that was amazing.
Yeah,
sure.
Like Randy said,
we did it in real life.
Yeah,
we did it in real life, and we instantly found out that there was no jousting about it. If you passed close by somebody that you were fighting, all you had to do is stick one foot out, and down they went. And so it wasn't like, who cares about the jousting? We tried it with brooms. We tried it with everything. But like, forget it. Just stick one foot out and kick that guy, and down he goes. Like, it wasn't that real fun. And like in the movie, it looks so fun.
I did like it devolved into just a roll around the ground.
Just a roll around the ground, a chance to, exactly. A chance for them just to, like, let's put the boxing glove, or truck nuts, as I called them earlier. But it was very much like the Grease Lightning race in Greece, where they're in the
that's what they should have done.
LA River, chasing each other through the driving down in the empty LA River basin.
They should have fought for pink slips for their boards. That would have been.
Another thing that was very realistic to me was when somebody grabs someone else's gear and runs away. And it doesn't happen a lot in the movie, but in real life, it was freaking hard to hold on to your stuff. You had to fight people all the time who would just show up and try to steal your skateboard. 9/10
of the law, baby. It's like it's possession. I got it. Yep.
Do you ever have? Do you ever have any? Ever have your skateboard stolen? That is one skateboard story I have. Is somebody stole my skateboard when I was a kid.
All the time. Yeah. Bikes, skateboards, you name it. Nothing was
safe. That was a weird thing because we didn't have any. There was no like doorbell cameras or any shit like we have today, where people just got away with that stuff.
And then if you told somebody, if you told an authority figure like, "Don't be a snitch," and it's like, I want my stuff.
Yeah,
I want my stuff.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I was thinking about this. Nowadays, I would go right up against the front trucks and epoxy an air tag onto the bottom of my skateboard, right where it won't get ground if you go grinding anything. Yeah. But back in the day, like we used to I took nail polish because that's the only thing I could get, and we would like put our name on the bottom of the board. Or just like anything we could do to make it unappealing to other people.
Yeah. And it's just such a weird thing. When you're a kid, your little weird childhood form of transportation becomes this valuable asset.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, especially for Brolin, who drove from the valley all the way over to L.A. right on his board. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So this that very first thing you see in this movie, like I'm right out of the gate, I'm questioning everything. So the San Fernando Valley is a very large area, right? And you're probably not gonna refer to where someone's from like that. You're gonna talk about specifically where they're from, Reseda, Northridge, the specifics. But these guys go to the beach.
Yeah.
And like getting to the beach from anywhere in the San Fernando Valley is a trek.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, what they show them like holding on to the back of a truck or whatever and skating along like that. So you can go fast, but man, why didn't they just get on a bus?
Yeah.
No, but-
and hide on top of the bus. Why didn't they just do that?
There was also something we liked about that, and they did it in Back to the Future with Marty hanging onto the back of that truck to get faster to school because he's late.
Right.
And there's just something about that idea. I don't know if it was given to us or we gave it to Hollywood, but there was a childhood want to like.
Let me tell you about the reality of it, Scott.
Like screw around.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the reality of it. You want to do that only with someone you trust who's driving and starts off real slow.
Oh yeah, I would never do that shit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is the fantasy was there, right? For whatever reason, we thought that was cool.
Like a constant game of Frogger where you're hopping from vehicle to vehicle to pull you along.
How many times I've almost ripped my arm out doing stupid crap when I was a kid. Oh.
Yeah.
I
I wrote in my notes, if he's such a good skateboarder, why does he need to grab onto so many other vehicles?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I just that first scene, they go to Playa del Rey, and they had to. Man, they must have gone. I don't know how they got there. I'm just like, as a kid watching this movie, it was the coolest thing ever. But as an adult, there's just so many things where I'm like, wait, so they're in Hollywood now? How the hell did they get all the way over to Hollywood?
You gotta park your brain a little bit on this stuff. It's like all those Vegas movies you see where it's like 10 different parts of the strip shown in like the same scene. Yeah. They're like, wait a minute, how did they get from downtown freaking Fremont to, I don't know, the pyramid in 2 seconds? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And there are a lot on the Strand, right, Randy? That's like most of a lot of the outdoor beach shots or the shots with the beach in the background was the Strand.
Oh, they're all over the place, though.
Are they? Okay.
I mean, like I say, the first scene is Playa del Mar. The next one, they come up to Venice. There's outside stuff that like doesn't exist anymore, like all over Culver City, like just all over the place.
Okay.
What's the Strand? I don't know what that is. Is that
That's
a beach.
A
The
beach
long- yeah, that's
with a really nice walkway path
Oh.
that goes down it. Like when you see Jack Tripper falling over on his bike because he's looking at a beautiful girl that goes by at the beginning of Three's
Thanks for
Company. It's on the
contextualizing it
Strand.
for my old ass. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yep, my pleasure. But that's where you're.
it's where they always show the girls skating, and it's like a very common thing to see
Yes.
people skating through there, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Because you've got a nice paved path right next to a beach, and it's just scenic and beautiful. There's a Gold's Gym right there.
What's the Christmas movie that takes place all up and down Manhattan Beach?
No idea.
Is it a Christmas movie or is it just a Christmas scene? Because I remember that. Is that Steve Martin?
I can just hear people.
I can
screaming at us.
hear it too.
Live and Die in L.A.?
LA story?
Or L.A. story? Not Live and Die
it's
in
that
L.A.
other one. He's got that tree. Didn't he have like he's got like a helpline service or something?
I don't know what that is.
Crap is that
I
called?
don't know either. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to find it. I believe
Return
in
to
you.
Me Later.
Return. Is that the name of it? Return to Me Later? Okay.
No, it's just like it'll hit my brain shortly when I stop trying to think about
It
it.
sounds like a movie title, though.
Yeah,
Return to Me Later.
Movie
Yeah.
made by
Mixed
a
Nuts?
really
Mixed Nuts.
Nuts. Thank you.
Mixed Nuts. I still
told you when I
don't-
stopped thinking.
I still
told you
don't know what it
thinking about it. I
is.
remember
Yeah,
it.
they were. That's right. They were helpline, like help people answer the phone for
Nora
helpline or
Ephron.
something.
I still have no idea what that is.
And that took place on the Strand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All up and down the whole coast. Because like back in the day, you could film on the whatever the street is that borders the beach itself.
Yeah.
And they're all around that area.
And they filmed it high enough that you got a better view than you usually get in most movies. Most movies kind of shoot it low and you can't really tell where anything is at, but in that one they really
there's a bunch of great moving shots in Thrashin that I just love, and I found myself going back and looking at them again, where like you have a camera in a truck and you're driving along and you got all these guys on skateboards behind you. Yeah. And you're kind of looking down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there's sometimes where I don't know how, but they got the camera right down on street level and it's moving. So like just imagine a cameraman hanging off the back of a truck.
And that's what, that's one of the best things about this movie is because they had to do so many unique things with how they shot things and, really capturing how it feels to be in the moment of boarding. But one of my favorite scenes of this movie that I really didn't recognize until this time around was when Chrissy actually gets in her fight with Corey Webster, the Josh Brolin character. When she's driving off and we're in the dash cam and we're looking at her drive off and everything just kind of falls back in the background, just falls away with Josh Brolin standing out there on the street. I like that.
It's a good shot, but also
chase her a little bit.
He does. That's what makes it good. He chases her for about 5 feet and goes, "Oh yeah, I need my board."
But she's got that like fuzzy pink dashboard and then the leopard print seats. Why didn't she just drive that car back to
I thought the same.
Know.
I don't think it was her car. I think that was the club car, the Dagger club car.
With the pink dashboard?
I think you could rent it. No, I really actually think it was her friend. I think it was Velvet's car because she's the one who drove her to the bus station.
That's right.
Oh, good point. With her bungee cord.
That's right.
This movie it's more fun to think of club car. Yeah.
This movie really has no respect for cars or how you own and operate cars. This movie rips the top off of a car for no reason. Why would you ever do that?
It was hot.
I mean, there is something fun about that though when you're that age. It's like I'm gonna tear shit up, screw the world.
I could kind of see doing that if I knew a guy who could do it.
Yeah.
Poor Bose. Yeah, Radley. He's like, I finally get to use my de-welding skills, apparently.
I don't know what happens to the top of the windshield, though. Like, if you do that sort of thing, is there nothing holding the top half of the windshield up that's going to fall on you?
That is a danger. You are removing structure, right? So, it's definitely not a great idea.
Well, it seems like a very bad idea.
Seems like an idea that some kids who are spending the summer with no responsibilities and just boarding, it seems like something they might do with too much time on their hands.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
There were so many great cars in this movie, like great old little cars, AMC Gremlins, Volkswagen Rabbits. There were Beetles and Mazda 626s all over the place. And I just wanted to go live in the cars of this movie for a little while.
It's one of those movies with really, really terrible music, in my opinion. And the only thing I recognized in it was a Meatloaf song.
Really?
I won't criticize the music
Meatloaf song, but the Devo "Good Thing" that was like one of their big hits off of the same.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was in there. Yeah, Devo's in there. That's right. But some of them were just like these throwaway bullshit songs that you hear in these old movies where they didn't have a good
Oh, okay, so not necessarily the songs, but the.
Yeah. The ones that were like filler that were definitely not big stars or whatever. It's just your cheap lower end Timu music or whatever.
This movie goes from song to song to song. You rarely have a moment that's not music filled.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a soundtrack, and that's a shame because again, my generation would have bought this soundtrack and eaten it up.
Let's see.
Some early peppers.
Yeah, that was wild to see him flee with a freaking hood on. That was weird.
The aviator hood thing on. Yeah.
Better than Wiener Out, which is usually how he rolls. Here it is. Meatloaf sang the title track called Thrashin'.
Thrashin'.
Yeah.
Don't you love that? It's like, hey, we got a movie called Thrashin'. Let's we got a song.
It says no version other than what you hear in the film has ever been released. So there's no tape, no
right. And
so you heard this in the movie, and that's it.
I wish there was the Red Hot Chili Peppers song was Black Eyed Blonde, and that's on the first Red Hot Chili Peppers album I ever had, which was called Stylie.
Yeah, I think it was the second. Was that was George when George Clinton was still funking it up, right, with him? Isn't that what he was still doing at that time?
Yeah, he was their producer for a long
Right.
time.
George Clinton was? I didn't know that. Oh, that's why you
know
kept
that.
bringing up George Clinton, Dunaway. I couldn't figure out why you were bringing him up. And I'm like,
There's a very specific sound that the Chili Peppers had at this time that was very, of this time.
Wouldn't be Anthony Kiedis' last time on screen. He'd go on to be a bit part in all kinds of bad shit. And,
Yeah, and it actually looks like, made me think that the Dagger's house kind of reminded me of the Anthony Kiedis house from Point Break.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. I didn't consider it, but yeah, it was very similar. I don't know. Like seeing those guys was cool for a minute there. It was like, all right, this movie's got the chops to be sort of relevant about an era. But then,
totally.
But then there were times where I felt like adults were augmenting an 80s life sort of idea. I don't know.
Right.
It's hard to explain.
Exactly. It's because there aren't really any adults involved. There's just the one old man with the van. And it just feels wrong that there's all of these teenagers and they're free range.
Mm-hmm.
Like the entire movie
Yeah.
is free range teenagers, even up to and including Chrissy going across the country on her own. Like it's
Just
just
changing her mind.
Yes,
You know what?
And then coming back across the country, getting into the worst possible vehicles she could get into.
I was so mad. I was so mad about that because it was, first of all, they're just like, she always gets picked up by older ladies, right? So that's fine. That's cool. But there was one point when they dropped her off at a sign for us to know how far she had much further to go. But they pulled off and they're going in the same direction she's going in. I'm like, why'd you let her off there? It's next to the
that's
sign.
not Winnebago, and they make a point to make you see that the tabletop says, or the coffee mug says soap opera fans or something like that.
Yeah.
They're clearly going to Los Angeles. There's no way they're not going
Did
to
they
Los
have enough of her shit? She's been talking about it. I love my little skater boy. Get out. I've had enough.
I love my little skater boy.
And so it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know, man. There's a lot of this. Like I'm kind of enjoying it more now that we're talking about it.
Totally.
Yeah. There's plenty to enjoy here.
I totally understand if this movie doesn't speak to you directly. Like I understand it's not a well-made movie. But for those of us that are in the target audience, this was a legendary movie. It was just, it's kind of hard to overstate. Like I was also in the target audience for Top Gun, I'm sorry if you don't like it. I think it's
I
awesome.
love Top Gun. Yeah.
It was made for me.
I really, I really have an appreciation for films that capture real life moments in real life. And I think this is important in this movie because it is it just captures some things that I didn't see in other films. And so being able to go back and watch these, I think is important.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of
important that we watch Thrashin'.
Well, I mean, I think it's an important part
a lot
of
that we
capturing.
Can learn
Yeah, we can learn a lot from Thrashin'. Yeah.
I think we can really. I mean, from a historical perspective, we can learn a lot about just in a very short time frame of capturing so much on film about the whole everything, just like a snapshot in time. And I've grown to.
You don't think they're like better versions of that though? Like better. Like
raw as raw as this is, I think this thing has things that you would wash out in a better movie. In a better movie, would nah, we don't want all these distracting things that are happening in the background because they're too real, right? And it distracts from the story. And so, yeah, I think in some ways,
like to me, I think of John Hughes movies as like critical, important to my youth.
But it's a dreamy representation of reality. This is gritty reality. Not because it did it intentionally, but because unintentionally it was gritty reality. It was like
I just want to say, like, John Hughes movies are a great comparison against this because John Hughes movies acknowledge that adults exist, and like even a movie like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? It's kids versus adults.
Right.
Movies like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles are just only about adults, but like The Breakfast Club, kids versus adults, right? And like John Hughes has a complete world, whereas a movie like Thrashin' is this very narrow slice where a bunch of teenagers are operating completely independently of the rest of the world.
But this is but this was my reality during that time. Only time I saw my parents was at dinner time. I mean, we would. Matter of fact, we used to even see each other in the morning
the whole day in the summer.
Yeah, and I would go off, and especially during the summertime, I wouldn't even see my parents for like a brief moment. They were so insignificant.
No, there was
absolutely
true. I just wasn't off with a gang of skateboarders.
Then you were doing it right.
I mean, apparently not. Like I feel like I maybe missed something. I don't know why. It's like wrestling. It's like a blind spot for me.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't have the connection to it. And I played Tony Hawk when it came out, and I don't think that counts.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so can we talk about skating video games a little bit? Because that was a part of the 80s that I didn't see anywhere in this movie. And it doesn't really belong, but it felt to me like this other thing. Didn't
like
you
that,
all
the 360, the one with the
720
trackball 720? That's it. I only played half of it, so
only made it halfway through. That's funny. That game was a historical freaking moment, man. People played the living shit out of that game.
I played a lot of Road Rash.
Okay.
And then ESPN X Games, which had a skateboard component to it.
Did you play? Anybody play Sketchin', which was literally skateboard behind the car,
like grabbing cars as they go by.
Yeah,
no,
I was never able to get a hold of that game. The four games that really made the era for me were 720, the stand up arcade game. Everybody knew where there was a 720. In my world, it was over in a Chuck E. Cheese in Harlingen, Texas, and you had to go there to play that game.
I love that you can only get it at a Chuck E. Cheese. That's great.
Yeah. There was Skate or Die.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, EA exists because of Skate or Die. That is
fact.
Like they went all in on a Commodore 64 game. I had it on the baby Nintendo.
I mean, it was technically an Atari game, though, right? Like, wasn't the original Skater or not Skater Die? 720 is it 720 saying Skater Die? They were separate games.
Yeah, so 720 said Skate or Die. Right. Then there was a game
called Skate or Die.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like EA. It was like EA's big bet, and they won. So the Atari 2600 game was called Skateboarding, spelled like Thrashin. And that was a terrible game.
Like G's in the 80s.
No,
man.
I like how you do a search for Skate or Die, you get like a half pipe ramp that people are going up and down on.
Yeah,
but then you also get this character named Rodney Recluse, who is clearly Rodney Dangerfield with a purple mohawk.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
So then the game that put skateboarding on the map, as far as I was concerned, was TNC Surf Designs. And TNC Surf Designs was
a terrible name, but keep going.
Yeah. But it was a baby Nintendo game. It was a side scroller. And half of it you were on a surfboard, half of it you were on a skateboard. And it was awesome. My little friends treated that like it was the reason to exist on the weekends. You would, go home from school on a Friday, and everybody would go over to Justin's house and play TNC Surf Designs.
Yeah, Justin sounds like he's named appropriately. It sounds exactly what you would.
That's a Justin.
That's a total Justin.
Absolutely, that's a Justin. Every Justin you had in your life was that Justin.
That Justin.
Yeah, I'm into it. I had one other thing here I wrote about. Oh, here it is. A world without parents, only a couple of cops, a skate maker CEO, and some paramedics. Everybody else is kids. It really is that kind of island mentality of 80s teen movies where just the parents are non-existent, man.
Yeah, and that was kind of what it was. I mean, during the daytime, I rarely saw adults because I'm assuming they were all working.
They all lived back in Indianapolis, the parents. It wasn't matter if they were all working.
I like that both Chrissy and Brolin's character had to both come from out of town. They weren't used to the scene. And they were just trying to, they found each other inside the scene, and they're just not dealing well with it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Brolin and her, Chrissy. What was the actress's name? I I had it here. Sorry.
I haven't seen her. I always think she's
Pamela
somebody
Gibson?
else.
That's it, I think. She
Yeah.
passed away at a relatively
Pretty
young
young.
age. Yeah. And there was I did some digging. It was one of those cases where nobody gave any info about what happened. She just
Oh, really?
died.
Well, I'll tell you what
Yeah,
did happen to her. Her hair on the cover art of this thing is way 80s. It's way bigger in the cover art than it is
Yeah,
in the movie.
it's funny. It's like shorter punk, like a punk rock hairstyle, as opposed to
Yeah.
like the long shoulder length thing that she's wearing throughout most of the movie, or throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide if I liked that then. I think I might have. That hair
Yeah.
may have been a thing that was like, oh, that's attractive hair.
Oh, how you doing?
I look at it now
you
and
like
I go, wasn't it you people that almost caused the ozone layer to
You
completely
people
collapse?
with your hairspray.
with your Aquanet, your overuse of Aquanet.
Yeah, man. There's so much of that. I
You people.
also dug into that Chuck McCann guy who played Sam Flood, the old dude. Also passed away at 83 in 2018. But
He was in tons of stuff.
tons of things. I mean, he's immediately recognizable, but I'd forgotten how much voice work he did. He is the voice of Duckworth
Oh yeah.
on DuckTales.
Mm-hmm.
He is, let's see, what did he do? Something on Garfield. Anyway, busy voice actor. Seemed like, that's the other one. Fantastic Four season 2, the 80s or early
animated?
90s one.
Oh,
yeah. I don't remember who he played, though.
Yeah. He's been in everything.
Yeah, that's
including
Busy
Toxic
Boy.
Crusaders, the movie. Remember when we did that?
Oh, was
Wait, which
Really?
one? Not the new one.
That was the Toxic
original?
Crusaders was the cartoon, and they had a movie.
Oh,
so he just
oh,
voice
oh.
worked for that.
Oh, okay. Why? Wait, but that's not. Is the Toxic Crusaders connected to Toxic Avenger? Is like a whole bunch of them
No.
together? No. Okay.
oh, that's what I was
I
envisioning.
thought it was. Hold on. Toxic
It
Crusaders.
is. Toxic Crusaders is based on the Toxic Avenger.
It's Trauma Universe.
Oh, so it's like a group. It's a
Yeah.
it's a super group of toxic people.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like my neighborhood. Just kidding. That's true.
I was gonna say it's like the American government.
All right. I've never seen that, but that's it's a team of Toxic Crusade, and they all
I'd
work
added
together
it.
like Avengers style. That's great.
I added it to our Watch Retro.
But we're talking about animated thing, right?
yeah.
That's the animated thing. Yeah, the Toxic
Okay.
Crusaders. Sorry, it's a cartoon.
Yeah, but it is based on that.
Correct.
Okay. The thing we just watched with Peter Dinklage notwithstanding.
Correct.
It's that world or whatever. That
Yes.
thing.
Traumaville.
Traumaville.
Yeah.
Traumaville. There you go. I couldn't get the word out. Yeah.
The was there anything that grossed Scott out the most, and was it the orange juice? And what was the name of the
God,
orange
you could
juice?
he really sold that.
Nailed
It
it.
was such a weird scene of like, oh yeah, hold on, don't drink that orange juice. Like,
Yeah.
why do you have that orange juice in the refrigerator if you know?
I was trying to figure.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if it was bad or if they like
it was
spiked
laced.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
I'm
spiked,
assuming
yeah.
they spiked.
I
Yeah,
assumed
that's what I was
spiked, but you were correct.
Yuck.
That is what grossed me out.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. There
When
wasn't much
orange
else
juice
though.
goes bad.
thinking. Orange juice goes bad.
It's a smell you never forget.
That's the worst. Yeah,
Thanos is freaking ripped in his young age, man.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, he's pretty ripped now, but my gosh, Josh Brolin, he has a
I
very
wish I had.
Yeah.
I wish I had abs confidence like he did. With just we're gonna go to a party. And I'm just gonna leave my shirt. Wide.
Yeah, man. And those weird muscle shirts we all used to have. I don't know if we all did, but I did.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly, because I was so skinny. But the
Why is that embarrassing? Those
well,
muscles are
I look like a noodle wearing a
With
wrapper.
it's right there in the name, muscle shirt.
Yeah, you need muscles to make it work.
No, but they're just so comfortable, man. They're just the best. Now,
Well-
of course, it really shows off how much arm hair you have down there, but still, they're so comfortable.
Yeah, no, the hairy guys really stood out as a result. But anyway, what I was going to say about that, I forgot now. Oh, I know what I was going to ask.
Brolin.
Josh Brolin, has this moment of Goonies and this, and then some other relatively small roles, but then things peter out. The minute that guy hits mid late 20s, it's like nobody wants to hire Josh Brolin.
Well, there
And
was a time when your nepotism stopped working.
Yeah, it's only worked so far. You're right. But
And-
it takes him till 2006, 05, when he gets cast in No Country for Old Men. He has no money. He's literally like living off nothing, like his dad's charity. Thinking he's pretty much done with Hollywood. Gets this role and then changes everything. It's like,
Yeah.
Josh Brolin is now in everything from now on. He'll be in the Dune movies, only the biggest franchise ever lately. He'll be in the freaking, he'll be the
Will he-
titular point of all
Will he
things
return?
MCU.
Yeah. Will he return?
I don't know
Yep.
if he'll return. Will he return?
I don't think he will return.
Endgame?
He's
That's
got no
my-
head.
Never mind.
That's my current. That's my current favorite joke. My current,
Yeah, mine too.
absolute favorite joke right now is everybody I ever see. We watch Project
Will
Hail
return,
Mary.
yeah.
Yep,
Rocky will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yep.
But he could be alternate timeline.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, we have alternate timeline Thanos in
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, sure, why not?
In one timeline, he has no head. In another timeline, he has no body. So,
That's true.
there you
Yes.
Why not?
I
half a
do
dozen of
want to
one.
argue. I want to argue a little bit with Scott because 2 of our film sack movies are in that dead space that you're talking about, where Josh Brolin was in a perfectly good movie, like he got paid money to be, doing his thing.
Money.
We've seen him 5 times now.
Okay.
Besides The Goonies and Thrashin'.
Yeah.
We saw him in Mimic, which is 97. We saw him in Hollow Man, which is 2000. And then he was in Into the Blue, 2005.
I remember none of this for some reason. Well, I remember the movies. You know what I don't remember is Josh Brolin being anywhere near these movies, and I don't know why.
Yeah. I definitely remember in the Hollow Man thing, but the other ones.
Oh, that's right. He was the whatever he was. He was Kevin Bacon's friend.
Best friend.
Yeah.
The turncoat friend, though, right? Right?
And
What a jerk.
Yeah. All right.
and I think there's no debating that his performance in No Country for Old Men is the best thing he ever did. It was just shockingly good how Josh Brolin grew into one of the best actors alive by 2007.
It's one of the great films of all time, period. I love that movie. Everybody's great in it, but he's exceptional. So is everybody.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem is what I meant to say. And I love pictures of those two like hanging out in a spaceship in the Dune set because they're both in Dune. And I just love it. It's like, dude, he killed you in a hotel room.
Don't you remember?
Yeah, don't you remember that? That was a dark day.
What is somebody like throw some jacks in a skate bowl and you fall and you hurt your head? No, that didn't.
Yeah, can I ask about that? So the Jax thing.
That is the worst thing I could imagine. I was like cringing. I was like, mother, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
it would have gotten
one of those getting stuck and just stopping your skateboard immediately as you hit one of those.
For starters, everybody present would have known that was done and who did it. There's no hiding that.
Yeah.
As a kid is throwing jacks down, everybody would start screaming, grabbing anybody who's about to drop in, that sort of thing.
Totally.
But also that's like, you may as well just stab a man with a knife.
Yeah.
That was so cruel.
Yeah.
It was absolute. And they were just laughing it up. And I was like, "Oh, you jerks! Can you buy those? Can you buy those checks? Because those were like everywhere back in.
Go to the dollar store, probably.
Yeah, when you used to be a kid, but are they made out of that? I'm assuming it was some kind of lead-laced metal that was probably a horrible idea to have. But I mean, you could just go to the store and pick up
I think you still
jacks
can.
all the time.
Pretty sure you can
I
still
bet
get
Those metal
jacks.
jacks. Metal jack seems like something we should remove from the marketplace. It just seems
Kind
like
of does, doesn't it? They don't need to be metal. They don't need to, the fact that they're jack-shaped makes them easy to swipe through and grab between bounces of the ball. But there's really no reason for them to be metal. And why wouldn't you save those for the big downhill? For the massacre.
Exactly.
Guarantee the win.
Also, okay, I got another question about the downhill.
Yeah.
Fist forward with the stupid gauntlet he made.
Yes.
What the hell did that do for anybody?
Aerodynamic.
It did not look cool. It looked so stupid to me. I was just like, I was beside myself. I was embarrassed for this movie. I was like, that is not a thing that happens. You don't just stick your arm out and suddenly you've got an advantage because you made a little cool gauntlet.
Right.
Although I do think it's
I
funny
can't-
that Thanos is chasing him with a gauntlet.
I
think
can't wait.
is-
I
it
can't
is
wait
fun,
for
yeah.
some diehard to say, well, actually.
The movie has the 4 things, right? It's got the swimming pool, the empty swimming pool, skating. It's got the half pipe, and all of the trickery there. It's got street skating on sidewalks and ollieing around, bystanders, and it's got the big downhill. And all 4 of those things are so different. It's weird to think of a single skater played by Josh Brolin being really competent at all of that, right? So like he is on the cusp of greatness. He is going to go pro or whatever because he's so good at all of it. I was really impressed with Josh Brolin, the actor. Like they used a pro skater in his clothes in a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But when you see him on a board, he's pretty good. He can do basic tricks. He looks very comfortable. I was
boarding was great.
He's got low center of gravity. He's got big noggin. He can totally do it.
Yeah. The half pipe scene was just so good to me. To me, those kids having fun, they're all doing plants and turnovers, and they're just all flying around. And again, anytime you see someone from the back, you're looking at a professional. When you see them from the front, they're not doing much.
Right. But that's true.
I just that scene just warms my little heart. That all these kids out there having fun on a half pipe.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. These are simpler times. We should celebrate them, like we would celebrate audio clips from this film.
Ooh, wait, you got some audio clips?
I do.
All like,
it's no, it's mostly it's weird stuff about the word Studley. Let's start with that.
Studley.
I remember I had friends who would say Studley a lot, and I don't agree with it then, and I don't agree with it now. But anyway, here it is.
Oh, man, come on. I mean, Mr. Studley is giving up first shot at a virgin ramp.
A virgin ramp.
Virgin ramp.
I have a feeling a lot of these clips are going to be Josh Richmond. He's just
Probably, yeah.
He had, the most dialogue opportunity, it felt like.
Yeah.
This song sucks.
No, it does not.
I'm with Ibit.
I don't like
At first, I didn't recognize
it. I know.
it.
I like Devo normally. I normally love Devo, but
I didn't recognize it at
album.
first because they were mixing it in with a bunch of other noises. And at first, I was like, "Is that Devo?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Devo song."
Yeah.
Sweet.
Also, this is not how the tequila song goes. It doesn't work that way.
That is a man after my own heart right there.
They had it so wrong.
It
Oh
comes
my
from
gosh.
the Baby Shark dude.
Yeah. That's right. And see, you know how to sing it.
I know how to sing your version.
Yeah. You don't know how to do it wrong. This is a thing we should always say with our friends when we go places.
I'm classy, I swear. I know him.
I know him.
I know him.
Just admit that you have a cooler looking friend, and the girls really want him, so lean into it. I don't think anyone actually talked like this, but let's give it a shot.
Wild, man. Acid rock. Gnarly.
Okay, gnarly, sure, but acid rock? Come on.
Acid drop.
Oh,
yeah,
even worse. Even less contextual. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Drop an acid. I know what that is.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I never had a single friend go, acid drop. It's like, what?
And you were hanging out with the right fools.
Yeah, I guess so. Here's some more bad music. Come on now. Come on.
And emotion, baby.
I mean, you didn't like that?
No.
Jesus, God.
I'm kind of this one. I'm with Scott on.
Yeah. But
And Emotion had one good song. It was called Obsession. It's a little long, and there's too much of a break in the middle. An instrumental bit where people who are doing it for karaoke might give up and go sit down, and then the lyrics start back up again. They're already seated.
Yep.
It happened to me. But,
It happened to me.
happened to me.
It could happen to you.
It could happen to you.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Oh, yeah, we heard this earlier. I just love this. This guy's great.
But it looks like an ashtray.
Yeah, it looks like one.
Poor old Bose.
Oh, Bose. Here's the cabriolet thing, but he got it wrong. Here you go.
Cabriolet. That's Hungarian for fast car.
Cabriolet.
Cabriolet.
Cabriolet. That's
Yeah.
you just can't get over the feeling that he was asked to just ad lib like crazy.
Yeah. And if he did, and that's what that was, I owe him some credit. Yeah. It's pretty impressive. This is how older brothers work.
Hey, I'm the older brother. I'm the one in charge.
Oh.
Charge.
Okay.
this could have gone really, really wrong, and I'm impressed that the filmmakers held together. As a kid, I didn't care. I didn't know. But now that I've seen thousands of movies, this kid, like they cast this Robert Russler guy in a very difficult role. He had to be both the heavy and the one who comes around to appreciating the the Josh Brolin character and getting beat and being a good sport about it.
Oh,
and so
I hate
forth.
that ending.
It's so instant though. It's like I flew off and he would have won, really. I mean, he was a better skater. He was well ahead of Josh Brolin at the end. And it was just this random flies off the side.
All the crashes were just them slow motion diving over a camera.
Yes,
so dumb.
but the fact that, right then it's like, okay, you can date my sister. You beat me in the downhill. We're cool now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Top Gun, for whatever reason, Iceman doing that works.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Kid.
It's a respect
Karate
thing,
Kid.
yeah.
All these respect things work. For whatever reason, in this one, it felt so contrived to me.
Usually, because it does feel contrived, because usually there's an outside source that's kind of like pushing you to be a bad guy, and then suddenly you kind of flip and go, okay, I'm not going to listen to this fool no more. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But here, it just felt like it felt unearned. There was no me and my sister had a long talk, and I haven't given you the right chance.
Yeah.
Cool, bruh. We're cool.
You showed up for my sister, and that makes you a good dude.
Well,
right.
I mean, they try to portray that along the way. They try to show him going this scene that you just played. He is just opposed to everything his sister's doing, and you're supposed to see throughout the movie, short movie though, that he's coming around to understanding she has her own life, and he's going to respect it.
My sister turned into a woman.
What I'm saying is this Robert Russler guy got the job because he's a good skateboarder, and he turned out to be just good enough at the acting part that it didn't all fall apart.
Yeah,
I'll
give you that.
One of those dagger earrings. Should I wear the hoop? No, you should never wear that.
No,
hoop,
wear
sir.
the dagger.
Never, ever, ever.
Not a great dancer though. Okay, skateboarder, okay, actor, not a great dancer.
No, that gif I made makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Randy, the downhill thing, is that Mulholland Drive?
No,
Okay.
no. I had looked it up. Hold on.
Mulholland Drive has that's Nick Nolte would be in that.
He'd be laying on the side of the road with Jennifer Connelly.
He'd be
So
saying.
you don't want really steep. You want a very gentle and windy downhill, and you actually want lots of uphills along the way, right? So the skaters don't just get out of control speed. I loved that they throw a speed gun into the movie just to try to make
the very end with the speed gun saying 63 miles per hour, like he's just stationed there at the very end just to see how fast people are going.
Yeah, that was dumb. Here's another term. Go ahead.
I will come back with where that was.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Recorded.
Thanks.
I got it here somewhere.
I'm curious. Yeah.
All right. I'm curious too. Let me regale you with this. This is a use of the term stylin', which I never liked, never approved of. Here it is.
That wild Indian picture happens to be styling. You don't know what you're talking about.
It happens to be stylin'.
What if I added profiling to styling? How about that?
Profiling and
Sure, that's
styling?
much better.
Would that
Okay, you know
help?
what? Yeah, actually it did. I don't know how, but it did. Hanging out with the daggers.
You hang around here, you hang out with daggers.
Yeah.
Daggers,
man. Who's the geese?
Hey, who's the geese?
I love that.
Yeah, you think you'll let me ride in his van?
Yeah. Let me ruin that car too. I guess he didn't ruin it. His friend did. Let's see. Weird girl in the. Oh, there's a weird girl laugh in this, and it's not anyone of note. It just, caught me, so I grabbed it. Here it is. There you go.
I think she was a witch. Burn her.
I like that. A little at the end's great. Great. All right, here is Josh Brolin said shit at the end of a phone call, but I swear this is not him. This is ADR from somebody else. They did not call Josh to do it. Here it is.
Shit.
That's not him.
Shit.
Wow.
It's not him, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
No way.
Not at all.
That's an older dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's in a good new collection, a new addition to my collection of shit files, but it's not him.
Shit.
I know where their ramp is. Oh yeah, this is great. This is how ominous this is.
I know where their ramp is.
Oh shit!
You know, it's an appropriate response to dating my little sister, burning up your really expensive ramp that you spent all summer trying to fix.
Yeah.
Quick,
Yeah,
sweet.
dude.
Was that after the parking garage chase? The ramp burning?
I loved the parking garage chase. That was some of my favorite stuff.
If you're getting chased by a bunch of guys, doesn't it seem like the worst place you could go is into a parking garage where they could kind of seal you in, basically?
It's important whether or not you can kick really hard and beat him uphill. It's according. He's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I think
He was pretty strong.
he's got
Going
those.
up that curvy round entrance ramp. Yeah.
I think if you have a bunch of smoker guys, skaters behind you, I think that's probably your best bet.
You think so?
Yeah,
It's
like I think I will out physicality these guys.
Okay.
And plus, I think at least some of them on the downhill will probably go flying off comically.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Oh, there was so much of that.
Yeah.
Chrissy, something about Chris. Oh, I don't know.
Chrissy's already went to the bus stop.
I think this is Thanos getting mad. I can't remember.
Chrissy, I'm going, okay?
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
Chrissy,
Chrissy,
I'm going, okay?
Okay.
I think 50% of the universe should die and the other 50% should live.
It's inevitable, okay?
Llewellyn Moss doing his best work. All right. Final clip. Don't blame me.
Don't blame me for your broken arm. You did that to yourself. Later.
My memories of this movie were completely dashed when I watched it yesterday, and it was the little kid, the younger kid, is hardly in it.
Yeah.
My memory of the movie was that the younger kid spends the entire movie trying to hang out with the cooler older kids, and they keep pushing him aside, and like he's barely
that does
in it.
happen. It just a lot of it is done off screen.
Yeah, I must have, as a small child, I must have identified with the other small child, and I thought a lot more of him than the movie did.
Yeah, he was barely in it. He's our kid in the sink a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we see him, he gets tossed off and he goes, I hope you guys don't get laid.
So dumb. All right. Now, this. It's the Film Sack checklist. I know this is controversial, but first up on the list feels like the lowest music budget ever, maybe. I don't know what.
But that I appreciate that because a lot of the music we were listening, at least I was listening more like when I was skating anyway. We were always looking for new experimental.
You were listening to cool alternative stuff, not this garbage.
Yeah.
Like Devo's as close as you're going to get. That's as close as you're going to get to that era.
Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers feels like, all right, that's the right vibe for this. But the fact that it's kind of the only example of it in the movie is kind of surprising. Surf Punks would have fit in perfectly, even though obviously
give me some Butthole Surfers.
Butthole Surfers.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're out skating and somebody had a boombox, they were playing like Suicidal Tendencies, but that might be a little later than this movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think maybe some later music.
But more punk rock than Animotion and Devo and
the Violent Femmes should have been on repeat.
Yeah, for sure.
Second up, funny you should bring up the Peppers. Next up, Take the Mask Off of Flea. Check. What are you doing? He's Flea. My gosh.
You got Flea here. Come on.
You don't cover up Flea. Give me a break. And then finally,
Flea covered up Flea.
Yeah, maybe you did. And finally, the love scene pushed a little over its weight. I don't know what that means. It just seemed a little more adult than the rest of the movie.
Yeah, than it needed to be. Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you. You know what? One more thing about the music. When I really think about it, the music that I heard a lot as a kid skateboarding was Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys they had the right sound.
Yeah, that's a perfect fit.
The License to Ill album, and I would even say, I mean, their second album I think is their best album, but it's the most underrated. I think Paul's Boutique would have been an amazing skater.
Retrospective reviews of that has been much better than it was.
Oh yeah, it just wasn't the mainstream.
It was ahead of its time.
Right, fight for your right to party that everybody thought it should be.
Yeah,
and we're better for it. Because that first album, it doesn't hold up as well as everyone thinks it does.
I don't. It's still in my brain though. I still rap it every time.
Sure.
We also at the time we just listened to like mainstream rock. Like you'd go skating and somebody'd be playing, Def Leppard or whatever.
Yeah.
Or some Two Live Crew, whatever, just saying.
Two Live Crew, man. If there was ever the most forbidden of fruits in my house growing up, it was Two Live Crew.
Yeah. And so the deal was I had a Two Live Crew cassette and I'd put it in my pocket and I'd go over to go skating with guys and you'd stuff it into a boom box and then instantly somebody's parents would come outside the house.
That's right. That's right.
Like, what's this?
You didn't think there were any parents. Suddenly parents.
No warning. Suddenly parents. Oh man, Suddenly Parents is a great name for a movie.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go make like an 80s set comedy or whatever, a little bit of raunchy or whatever, put that. That's the title. Oh man!
As soon as it gets to a certain level of obscenity, all of a sudden, Suddenly Parents.
Yeah, I love that. That's actually a great idea. All right, let's get our snow tracks. What am I saying? Star Trek and MCU connections. Jeez, we know of an obvious one, but let's see where this goes. Randy, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna skip past him for the most part. So, starting over here in Star Trek, we got Robert Russler, who played Tommy Hook, the heavy in this movie. He was in one episode of Star Trek Enterprise.
Nice.
Just a bit role, no big deal. And that's it. Thanos. No, I'm just kidding. But let's look at a couple of like non-acting connections.
Technically, Cable also, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's right.
Sorry, go ahead.
But there's some interesting things going on here. So this movie, Thrashin, was written by a person named Paul Brown. And this is the same Paul Brown who went on to write for some Star Trek, wrote the Voyager episode Child's Play and the Enterprise episode Rajin. And then we also have the cinematographer on Thrashin, who's Chuck Colwell. Yeah. And Chuck Colwell also shot the first Terminator.
Whoa.
And went on to shoot 3 Incredible Hulk movies. These were all TV movies.
I was about to say, I forgot about those.
Matt Murdock as his lawyer.
I was about to say, wasn't there one? We need to watch that one where he goes to court. We need to watch.
Yeah, we do. It was actually a film, right? That's how it was.
Yes, I'll give you the name of it because the 3 that Chuck Colwell was the cinematographer for were The Incredible Hulk Returns, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, and the last one was called The Death of the Incredible Hulk.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's spoiler. It's just so they'll stop chasing him.
They fake it.
Yeah, of course. I just imagined that Chuck Colwell got tired of looking through the camera at Bill Bixby.
Yeah. I mean, how did you ever get tired looking at Bill Bixby?
He's not okay. You know what? I'll allow it. That's fine.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
I'll give you that one.
Were you going to disparage the appearance of Bill Bixby?
Oh my God, he almost went there.
Imagine being a cinematographer. And this is where you found yourself in life. They called me to do another TV Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
All right.
At the time, it probably seemed like shit. Now I'm just like, give me more of that.
I think I never got over, I don't know why I took this so personal, but when I found out Bill Bixby was directing a bunch of Blossom episodes, it always bothered me.
I had no idea, really.
I was like, wait a minute. How do you go from David Banner, fake Bruce Banner? Yeah.
David Banner actually could do it. I think you're thinking of the Incredible Hulk himself writing the Blossom episodes.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm picturing Lou Ferrigno writing the episodes.
Yeah. Oh, didn't she put hat on? Hat makes Hulk angry.
Today was the first time, recently was the first time I'd known that Lou Ferrigno wore little green shoes when he was in the scene.
Oh, do you really?
I've seen those little snips.
I did not know that, and
I didn't know until recently.
That made my day. Yeah, I thought that was freaking great. They're these cute little bitty, little. I don't even know what
slippers.
To call them. Yeah,
ballerina slippers looking. Yeah. Of the largest ballerina you've ever met.
Yeah, you'll never meet a ballerina that guy's size. Sorry, Randy. Was that all the names?
I just want to call out that the Epper brothers were doing stunts in this movie, and we've seen them a million times. Like we've seen so many movies.
Brothers?
Epper.
Yeah, their names are Tony Epper, Danny Epper, and Richard Epper. And all 3 of them are credited in this movie, and all 3 of them are credited in so many film sack movies. These guys are just a family of legendary stunt performers, and we've seen them in Lethal Weapon movies, and we've seen them in the Italian Job and Roadhouse and Minority Report, and the other all of the Island, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, just like these guys really get into movies that we see.
That's cool. I didn't know. I love brother combo directors, writers. You know, there's a lot of them out there, but you never think of stuntmen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
There's a really great not novel, a really great long form article out there somewhere called "A Family of Stuntmen" about the
about those
brothers.
guys. Oh, yeah, worth looking at. Our most obvious, obviously, is Josh Brolin doing his thing. So well done,
Thanos.
Josh. Yeah, good job.
Guy who burnt his teeth by sunbathing naked.
That's right. Yep. But
anybody else?
But he quit drinking, and that's important. Yes.
Anybody else watch the contemporary interview with him and Tony Hawk where they both hate the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they both hate the movie.
Yeah. That's the teaser of the YouTube thumbnail is Thrashin, hated by Josh Brolin and Tony Hawk.
That's wild. I didn't know that existed. I got to watch it. Tony Hawk, interesting, because he's barely in it. He's like an extra,
in it, or at least he's facially barely in. He's probably doing more of the stunts that we don't see.
Was it a big deal yet? I don't even know what his status was.
No, and that's the thing. Like, we were always trying to spot. Christian Hosoi was by far the biggest skater that anybody ever spotted in this movie at the time, and Tony Alva's in the movie, and no one knew Tony Hawk.
Yeah, his time. They didn't know what they had there. I think they made this movie and went, "Who's this kid? Whatever, just hold still. Don't say anything." And you're like, "Dude, you have no idea. You're talking to like skater. He's the what is he? The Gretzky of skating or who?
Now, yeah. Now and for the last 30 years.
Yeah, there's nobody like it.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, I'm sure there are people who probably argue for a bunch of skaters and go, he got robbed. He should have been the Tony Hawk. Should have had all the games and the whatever. But I'm telling you.
Yeah, but at the time that this movie was contemporary, like Steve Caballero was very famous, and he's another one that like he's in the pool scene. He does some really good tricks. Very exciting when I was a kid.
Maybe some of it's like name, like nobody wanted to play Tony Cabrero pro skater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to say Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk is just a cool short thing going on. All right. Well done, everybody, on that front. Let's get to the soundtrack grade.
Add Brian back in, by the way.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, his computer or browser crashed. He's back in.
Oh, hello, Brian. You're back.
There you go.
Hi.
Browser crash.
How's it going, browser crash, Joe?
How's it going?
What browser crashed just so we can give it shit? What was it?
What is this? Chrome? Yeah, Chrome.
All right, F Chrome.
Good.
F Chrome.
Let's get to the soundtrack grade. I'd give it an OOTW for one of the worst for me. Really didn't like it. The whole thing.
I thought it was OOTW was out of this world. Okay.
Okay.
Normally, I think you're right. I think it is. Today is not that day.
One of the worst.
Yeah. Social media post. This is where you guys sum it up in 280 characters or less. And I believe this week we start with Randy.
From Thrashin. We'll name the movie. Thrashin.
From Thrashin with love.
Thrashin.
Thrashin. From across the San Fernando Valley, there came to fight as two groups of dummies. The villain-coded ones brought a girly as a gift for the hero named Corey. The tricks and fights were cool. The acting stunk. It's the Karate Kid for skateboard punks.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was actually, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what is the competition? We even talked about this. Are there other movies about skaters that are like
Gleaming the Cube?
Oh, yeah, Gleaming the Cube.
There's Gleaming the Cube, and that's a bit like these two movies kind of ruined the chances of there being others.
Like Blue Crush and whatever the other surfing one was.
Yeah.
Oh, right. There's always in twos, though. It's so funny to me.
Rip the Curl or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Rip the Curl.
No, what's
something like that?
What's the movie? What's the surfing movie from the 80s about the kid from Arizona who goes to Hawaii?
I don't know.
Oh my God!
I don't know what that is.
Point Break. No,
that's exactly what I was thinking, but that's
yeah.
Oh no!
I don't know.
I'm so sad. North Shore, Jesus, North Shore.
Oh,
okay.
North Shore went along with this movie. You
That's
could
right.
you could like go to Blockbuster in 1989 and you'd find Thrashin and North Shore side by side.
Yeah, like they should have been. Like nature meant it to be. Hey, Brian Dunaway, it's your turn.
Oh, hi. Thrashing. Dude, stop thrashing, you bunch of posers.
No.
You don't know what it's like to be young, hot, and unemployed in L.A. with the whole summer ahead of you during the 80s. Hashtag 1,000 frog skins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Calling cash frog skins is weird.
It is a little weird.
It was.
It's a little weird. I've never heard that once, since, or before, only here. Brian Ibbett, take us home.
I have two this week. First one was the easy one, but we talked about it earlier. Thrashin', West Coast Side Story.
Nice.
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 My second one is Thrashin'. I tried to write a social media post that included the pun skateboard, B-O-R-E-D, but I lost my bearing.
Oh, I see what you did. That's good.
You pulled it out at the end. Nice.
A bearing joke. Oh my gosh.
A bearing joke.
Yeah.
Really good.
Just like Josh Brolin with Pamela Gidley pulled it out in the end. Very good.
Brolin. Yeah.
Brolin. J.K.
Yeah, Josh
Brolin.
Brolin.
Josh K. Brolin.
Brolin.
You got to remember that song every time you say it. All right, guys. Well, you know what that means. It means this. Oh, boy. These are alternate titles. They were just handed to me. It is called A Series of Montages, but they thought that was just too on the nose. Because this thing is really, honestly, it's
really
like
is.
4 vignettes of music and montage.
Yes,
Which makes it good.
long skateboarding, glorification scenes. It's a Warren Miller ski film with skateboards.
That's right. Or almost got called "You've Got to Move Like Daggers." Anyway, I'm moving on from that as fast as I can.
That was pretty good.
Let's move
I look
on
forward
to the
trying to figure out what you meant by that later on.
Yeah, later on. We'll let it stew for a while. Will from England wrote in and left us an email, and he says, "Will from England, not that one." I think he means not Will. We know a couple of Wills from England, so he's probably just distancing himself from the other Will. Anyway, there's a film called War Machine that is currently streaming on Netflix. It stars Alan Richardson. Is that right, or Richson?
I'm a war machine
guy, right?
Richson, right? I always want to put a in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says it's a sci-fi thing, borrowing heavily from War of the Worlds. It is joyfully corny, full of hard stares and macho-ness. Is that a word? Macho-ness.
Yes, macho-ness.
And it is probably the most sackable. He wrote suckable, but he meant sackable of any movie I've ever seen ever. Enjoy, Will from England.
Wow.
I thought this was like a serious war movie. I didn't know it was a sci-fi deal. Did you guys know that?
I didn't either. No, I thought it was a regular war movie too. So now I'm interested.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it now. So I think we ought to get that on the list as one of our. We do our recents sometime.
Yeah. It's a Netflix thing, so it'll probably be there for a while, but we don't need. That doesn't mean we need to sit on it for forever.
No.
Yeah,
they'll
sit on it.
Probably have it for.
Potty?
If it's a true Netflix thing, they'll have it forever, right? Isn't that how that shit works? Well, there you go. That's your deal there. We also got this email. Shit, I can't talk today. Stefan Vandergraaf wrote this. Hey, Scott, big fan of Film Sack. I always appreciate how you and the crew break things down with both passion and humor. It's reaching out, or I am reaching out, because I think my filmmaking journey would be a great fit for your show. My first film, Simmer, was a micro-budget passion project that I managed to sell to HBO Max after it picked up over 1 million views on Facebook and found its way into different international markets. Now I'm bringing out my second feature, One of Us, starring Kit Connor, with its premiere coming up at the Manchester Film Festival in March. My path has taken me through everything from founding a digital agency that tracked over 1 billion views, to video ads, to wrangling micro budgets. And I love talking about what makes movies tick from inside and outside the frame. If you're open to me coming on sometime, I'd love it. He says, no pressure, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for considering it. Anyway,
blah, blah, blah.
I wanted to make sure to give a shout out to, I do this for anybody in our listening audience who has like rad projects they're working on. Always reach out with those, because I love to help promote it, and also it's just so cool, man. Yeah.
And we can find out whether this is LinkedIn cold call messaging or not. Stefan Vandergraaf, let us know if you heard us talking about it.
Of the New England Vandergraafs?
Yeah, the New England Vandergraafs. Yeah. Vandergraaf sounds like they make frozen dinners, doesn't it?
Vanderkamps.
Vanderkamps, that's why.
Yeah.
All right. I knew it was familiar. Let's get to, if you want to send us those emails, by the way, filmsack@gmail.com. And there's other ways to contact us to find them all at the website, filmsack.com. On Patreon, it's where you guys support this show and make it happen. And we got 2 brand new folks whose names I can't hardly believe they use these names, but here they are at patreon.com/filmsack. The new folks who have joined us, Dillinger Fish is one.
Yeah.
Love that one. Yep. And then Logical Draft Dodger is the other one. I don't know what that's about, but I like it.
I like it. Yeah, it's good.
These guys know that they're going to get no commercials or ads of any kind. They're going to get monthly special episodes from the host. They're going to get movie-related art prints in the mail from me if they're at that level. All kinds of fun stuff. No reason not to. Sign up today at patreon.com/filmsack. Our next movie will be The Quick and the Dead from 87. The Quick and the Dead from 1987.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the other one we already sacked, which came out in 95. And I have so many questions about how you would make a remake that quick. Because that's literally, what?
Yeah. Right there.
That's 8 years. That just seems, I don't know why that seems crazy. It just does. Anyways, more on that later. Filmsack.com in the meantime. That is going to do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Hungarian for fast car.
I just freaked out all those people that turned their speeds up because I got slow.
What's going on?
That'll do it for us. We'll see you next time.
This has been a Frog Pants production. Find all our shows at frogpants.com.
Who's the geese?